Hello guys, I'm going to share my deck list. This is going to be under Samurai Rules format, and I am using the Mouse Grave because I'm a Shadowlands player. My Dynasty card deck is conformed by 45 cards. I am using 4 events, 19 holdings, 20 personalities, and 2 regions. These 4 events, the first one is for economy, and the next 3 are to try to stop the honor running deck. Also, Deeds and Wars is for the same purpose, and these 2 holdings are for the start of the game. So hopefully you will get Secluded Village perhaps on the first or second turn. And of course, the most important holding of the deck is the Secluded Way Station, because in each turn it will increase the gold production by 1 token. Another one that is very important for me is Seiden Sanso, because it allows me attack in cover remote with my personalities. And of course, the other important holding is Shattered Peaks, because it provides me from the start to giving me 3 production of gold when I'm buying personalities. The Shrine to Fukurokochi is for drawing an extra card if I am lucky. And Shrine to Osanabo is to maybe protect me from against the enemy's cards. Temples of Gisei Toshi is also for drawing cards. In this case, in my format, I am using only followers and items, so it is useful, but I depend much on luck. And lastly, in Traveling Peddler, you are guaranteed to draw a card, but you have to pay three gold costs to use it. So it is good, but you have to have a strong economy, so it doesn't impact too much on your game. Next one, we have the personalities. I have 20, as I said before. I only have 2 uniques, which are Kyoso no Oni and Poku. Kyoso no Oni is very important because she is the strongest personality on my deck. She is 13 of force and 6 of chi and 13 of gold cost, so it is kind of expensive to recruiting her, but I think it's a very nice personality because it allows me to kill 1 personality of the opponent by killing 1 of mine the moment she enters play. And Poku is very important too, because it allows me to have presence in battles and also have the ability to flee that battle if necessary. And also it allows me to steal from the opponent attachments. So it's very important because I can have those cards from the opponent without any gold cost. Returning from Chitopuro, he allows me to destroy a target unit opposing him that his total gold cost is less than Chitopuro force. Next, we have Daku no Oni, that bows a lot of almost any card. The other ability he has, I almost haven't used it any of the time, so I only use it for bowing a personality. He also bows a holding, I think. Next, we have Furo no Oni, that also bows a target card without restrictions, and he is the second strongest personality in my deck. Also, his gold cost is reduced by every province destroyed from the opponent and also mine. So in the late game, he is very cheap if things are going according to plan. Next one, we have Shikage no Oni. He allows me to destroy 1 of my target units and target an opposing unit which has less force than my destroy unit and destroy that unit of the opponent. Lastly, we have Sudo no Oni, of the Onis that destroy. He is very useful because he destroy any card of the opponent, and by only the restriction is that the opponent can't destroy any card from me besides Sudo no Oni. And finally, we have Umibosu. Is another Oni that bows personalities without attachments or an attachment. Another important thing from him is that he has the naval trait, so it's very important against Mantis or when you declare an all invasion, you have the first opportunity to take an action. If you don't have a sneak attack, perhaps he's very useful. Finally, the two regions are, one is the Kitsu Mountains that allows me to vote this card and move home one or more personalities from a target province. This is very useful because if I'm losing the battle, I can retreat from it. Or by example, if I have miscalculated and sent my whole army to attack one province and the defender doesn't defend that province, I can return units until I think that the unit I am leaving or the units I am leaving behind in the battle can take the province down, and the units that return to my home will serve me to protect myself from the enemy possible attack on the next turn. And finally, Zoro's Path is totally a defensive region that makes that the opponent, before the battle resolution, he has to destroy one unit or 3 cards in his army. Next, we are going to see the Fate deck. It is conformed by 42 cards. Primarily, we are going to start with the followers. I only use 3 that are Wandering Budoka. I think that these are perhaps the best followers from the arc because they only cost 3. They have another requirement of 0, so I can use it with every of my personalities. And they have a bonus force added to their starting force of 2 by each province destroyed of mine during the game. So if I have lost 3 provinces, it is going to get 6 bonus force, in total 8. And also that I think that is very good and very important, even more so than the force bonus, is that when entering play, you get 1 card for each province destroyed by each player. So if I have destroyed a province from the opponent and 1 mine, I draw 2 cards. The next one is Armor of the Rune. That is very useful because it gives the cavalry to this personality. And if there is an opposition in the battle, he can move to that battle. Also, if by any means I have to retreat from that battle, I can send home this personality. The other items I have are the Side Blade. They give a force bonus and a chi bonus. And more important is that in reaction after this personality assigns, I bought this card to draw a card, so it's very important to cycle faster the deck. Next one are the 2 rings, the Ring of Air and the Ring of Water. Ring of Air allow me to strengthen a personality, so it's very important that I can use it in battle or as an open action, depending on the circumstances as needed. And Ring of Waters allows me to enter a battle or move home by strengthening the personality. Similarly to that purpose, I included in the deck 2 Beloved of the Clan that allows me to move to a battle that will be opposed one of my units and strengthen that personality. Next, we have the Brute Force. This is a very important and very powerful card in my deck because it allows me to target one of my unbound personalities that has 5 force or plus, and bow another personality with less force. If my personality doubles the other personality, my opponent personality force by the double +1, it destroys the personality. So this is very nice for me because my Onis usually have a lot of force and they can destroy the opposition. Next is Cutting the Act. It's a reaction that I use when the opponent tries to battle one or more of my personalities. It's very useful because that way I will not lose the force of my bow personality if it happens. Next one is Desperate Wager that allows a last desperate effort to try to win the game because you have to pay 7 of gold, and as a reaction before my dynasty phase begins, I straighten all of my personalities and all of the opponent personalities, and I begin an additional attack phase to the opponent. If I do not win the game In this turn, I automatically lost the game. Next one is Doom Intentions, that it also allows me to move to a battle one of my units. If I am defending, I have the first opportunity to take one action from that unit. It also strengthens the unit, and it has a reaction that if another player uh, dishonors one of his personalities to pay the cost of an action, I can destroy that personality. Next one is Draw Your Blade, that allows me to bow a target card with an attachment or dishonor one of my personalities to bow a card of the opponent. We have then Eager to Fight. That is a reaction that after the maneuver segment ends, if there would be an opposition, I have to pay gold cost equal to the numbers of bow personalities I have in my home, and I will assign those personalities to a battle if they will be opposed. And if I am the defender, I will not have a problem. But if I am the attacker, those personalities will not strengthen during my next strengthen phase. Next, we have Fight Another Day. That is a battle action that allows me to go home with all my units. And those units, if they go home, they straighten all and allows me at the end to draw a card. If my units are non-human, I draw a card. Um, Next, we have Justly Earned Victory that has two battle actions. The first one is to target one of my personalities, then send home another opposing personality with less cards attached, or with less force. And the next one is to negate all current force bonuses and penalties to cards at these battlefields from actions. Finally, on the last row, we have Outer Walls, and this allows two actions. One is a battle action that increases the province strength by 3. Next one, we have a reaction that decreases a range attack by 2 value. Um, Finally, we have Sneak Attack. That is a reaction that allows me to play the first action before the defender. And we have Surprising Resistance. That is a battle action that I have to bow or move home one of my personalities or units, and I bow a target enemy unit. Finally, now, yes, we have the Tale of Sukuro. That is a limited action that gives permanently an ability of battle action to one of my personalities that allows it to move one or more personalities to the current battlefield. So, guys, it would be the deck I constructed for this tournament. This deck performed very well, in my opinion. Perhaps I will only change maybe Frank to Osana Wolf or another Setting Sanso, because I think that this card is very useful, but I prefer to have more the Setting Sanso ability to attack with cavalry. In one game, I had the need of it. I didn't have it available, so I think that really impacts in the game negatively for me. And the personalities, I think that all are well around. They complement each other very well because they are strong, and mostly all of them have abilities. The half of them bows the opposition. These three Onis bow, and these three other personalities destroy this one, and this one with certain restrictions. Also, Kyosononi destruction, but because I am using the most grave, I can return each turn if I bow my stronghold by one personality that is destroyed. I bring it once again to life, and at the end of the turn, I have to remove it from the game. So one good combo with this is to with Head and Sanso give it cavalry, and in the next turn, because this Head and Sanso destroy the personality before the dynasty phase begins. In the next one, if I have to return to game that personality, and it will remove anyway, so I will give it again once again Head and Sanso bonus and cavalry trait. Other important combo I see is that I have to use Doom Intentions with with the Onis that destroy, mostly with this guy, only for defense, because that way I can destroy a train unit from the opponent that it has a lot of followers or maybe a lot of items. Uh, it is the perfect defense for me. Sorry about that. And also this deck is based a lot of movement. And if you're not going to win the battle, you have to retreat. But if you draw enough cards, you can also enter again in the battle and try to seize victory. So I hope you like this deck. And if you have any suggestions and comments, well, I'm all ears, and hopefully it will even make this deck more competitive. So thanks for watching.